Once, a student monk went to his master and said, "Master, I can't live in this temple anymore. I want to leave this place and go to a peaceful and quiet monastery." Then the master monk asked, "Why? What's wrong with this temple? Tell me what happened." Then the student monk said, "See, everyone in this temple are toxic to me. There are some monks who are too much into politics in this temple. And there are some other monks who always talks negative stuff about me and about others. And there are some others who spend their whole day doing nothing but just gossiping. I don't think that I can practice my spiritual life in this temple. Please let me go to a peaceful and a quiet monastery where there is no toxic people around me." Then the master monk said, "Okay, I will let you go. But before going, you have to do me a favor for the one last time." Then the student monk said, "Tell me, master, what should I do for you?" Then the master monk took a spoonful of water and gave it to the student monk and said, "You must carry this spoonful of water around the monastery and you should bring it to me. But here's the trick. You must never spill a single drop of water from it. If you can do it, I will let you go to a peaceful monastery." So thinking that the master will let him go to a peaceful monastery by completing this weird request, the student monk took the spoonful of water and carried it around the monastery, fully focused and without spilling a single drop from it. So after a few hours, the student monk came back to the master with a happy face and said, "Master, I did it. I carried this spoonful of water all around the monastery, even without spilling a drop from it. So now, let me go to a peaceful monastery." Then the master monk said, "Okay, my student, you are free to go. But before you go, just tell me one thing. While you were carrying the spoonful of water around the monastery, did you hear any of the monks talking about politics? Did you hear any of the monks gossiping about other people? Did you hear any of the monks talking negative stuff about you?" Then the student monk said, "Master, I was focused on the spoon and I didn't have any time to listen to all those noises." Then the master monk said, "See, my student, if you are fully focused on your goal and if you are fully focused on your purpose, you don't have time to listen to all those other negative noises around you. Remember, wherever you go in this world, you will meet negative people around you. But if you're fully focused on your goal and on your larger purpose, all the other negative people and all the other negative words that you hear are nothing but just noises." Ladies and gentlemen, it is all about what we focus in our life. The more we focus on other people's behaviors, other people's words, other people's lives, there will be many toxic people around us. But if we are focused on ourselves, our goals, our purpose, all those negative stuff will become nothing but just a noise. See, it is easy to criticize other people. It is easy to see the dark side and the negative side of people. But it takes a heart of bravery and kindness to see the bright side of people. We all have imperfections in our life. We all make mistakes. We all make bad choices. And all those faults, imperfections are the things that makes us who we are. So when you work with people or when you are on social media, you will come across with people that you don't like. You will come across with ideas that you don't agree with. Remember, in all those times, you have the power to choose whether to react with negativity or to respond to them with positivity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all about what you choose to do and what you focus in your life. So, focus on yourself and choose to respond to them with positivity. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. Hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at the viewpoint of our monastery. It's a nice view out here. So, in this video, let's talk about the gratefulness and the gratitude. Now, this is one of the major qualities that we practice in Buddhism. Okay, Buddha considered the gratitude and the gratefulness as the mother of all the good qualities. In Mahamangala Sutta, the Buddha says, having a grateful mind is a blessing for your life. Okay, so how can we practice this gratitude? And what is the meaning of gratitude? Now, the word that is given to gratitude, given for the gratitude in Buddhism is called katanyuta. Katanyuta means the ability to remember what one have done to you. That means the helps that have done to you. If you can remember the people and the helps that you have given, okay, people have done to you, then that is called the gratitude. So how can we practice this? Well, you can be grateful and you can be thankful for almost everything in your life. For an example, let's say you wake up in the morning, and then what you can do is you can be grateful for your life, okay? For waking up in the morning, for breathing, and for having a life. Because most of the times, like so many people last night, they could not wake up in the morning, okay? So we can be grateful for our life. And then if, let's say, you take your food plate to your hand, you can practice gratitude in there. How? You can be grateful for the people who made that food. Maybe your wife, maybe your husband, maybe someone who helped you. Okay? So you can be grateful for them. You can say that, thank you. Okay, genuinely you can say that, thank you. I am grateful for you. Okay? Because of you people, I live happily and I live in comfort in my life. When you do that, you practice that mind of gratitude in your life. Okay? And also, there are so many things that you can be grateful for. Okay? Let's say you're using a computer, right? You can be grateful for your computer because it makes your life so much easier. You can be grateful for the people who made that computer. Okay? And also, let's say you're walking down a street, okay, and you're walking down a nice lane, and then you can be grateful for the people who made the road. Okay, you can be grateful for the nature that you're around. Here's the thing, you can be grateful for everything in your life, because sometimes it is difficult for us to be happy with our life. Okay, because when we go through tough times, when we hit the problems in our life, we start to think like, my life is not valuable. Okay, my life is worthless, and there's nothing to be happy about my life. But if you really think about it, if you really consider about it, there are thousands and thousands of things that we can be happy about and we can be thankful for. Okay, so that is what you call the Buddhist positive thinking. Okay, but they consider this as the blessing for your life. And also the Buddha said in Mahamangala Sutta, Buddha mentions that santutti and katanyuta is a blessing for your life. Santutti means being happy with what you have, and katanyuta means being grateful for what you have. These two qualities are a blessing for your life. It makes your life so much fulfilled and so much happier. Okay, so in every morning, take a little time to practice this gratitude in your life. Okay, wake up in the morning and say that, I am thankful for my life. Okay, I am thankful for the people who lived around me, who helped me, okay, who was there with me in my life in the hardest times. And also in the same time, we can be happy about the tough times and bad people in our life too. Okay, so many people don't think about this, because we become grateful for the only for the good people and the good situations in our life. No, we can be grateful for the bad people and difficult situations in our life. How can we do that? Well, because of the bad people and because of the bad situations and tough situations in our life became so much interesting, right? Imagine if your life became all the things, like you got all the things you wanted, okay? And there were all the people who were good and nice to you, okay? You didn't face any tough situations in your life. There's nothing more interesting, nothing much interesting about your life. But because of the bad people and because of the tough situations and the bad days in our life became so much interesting, no? Because there's a story for us to tell. Okay? There is an interesting story for us to tell. That is why the more we face tough situations, our life becomes so much interesting. So we can be thankful for the bad people and say, like, thank you for giving me tough times. Thank you for bringing me the giving me the ability and giving me the ability to practice the patience and love and kindness and compassion for you because of you people. In that way, you can be, you see, if you think about it, you can be grateful for every situation and everything in your life. So every single day when you wake up in the morning, take a little moment to say thank you for everything and every people and every person in your life. So keep that in your mind and practice this wonderful quality of gratitude. Namo Buddhaya. The nature of our life is we do not know what is going to happen in the next moment. Life is unpredictable. Life is mysterious, and that is what makes the life more and more interesting. No matter how good you are, no matter how talented you are, there are some times, and there will be some times, that things won't go in your way. Life will give you hard kicks. Life will give you tough lessons. I know in those times, we all feel like giving up. We all feel like quitting what we are doing. But you have to remember one thing. Everything that is in life is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Not even your pains, not even your problems, not even the troubles that you go through today. It is going to change one day. Keep that in your mind and believe in it. This is to everyone who is going through tough times in your life. Please do not ever quit. Don't give up, because the pain you go through today, the troubles you face today, the problems you face today is just a chapter in your life story. It's just a page in your life story. It's not your whole life story. Remember this. If you were to tell your life story in front of thousands and thousands of people after one day you become successful, if you were to tell a nice and a simple and a soft story, no one will be inspired with that story. The more you face troubles, the more you face problems in your life, the more tough your life becomes, your life story will be more interesting. And one day, your life story can be a survival guide for someone's in out there. Remember this. So whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling like giving up, whenever you face problems, I need one thing for you to do. Go out and help someone. This is not something that you hear oftenly. Go out and help someone when they feel down. Okay, give a helping hand to someone when they are feeling troubles and when they go through tough times in your life, because you have to believe that what you give is what you get, right? Even though you are going through tough times in your life, you must be willing to help others, because that gives the happiness, right? The more you face troubles, you can understand how others feels like it to go through tough times. Okay, so when you feel down, always try to help someone. I know how it feels like to constantly fail, and I know how it feels like to constantly fall and be unsuccessful, because I have been through that situation. Okay, so help someone, help people, right? And also do not ever give up. Sometimes you have to be patient because things get time to work out. Okay, things take times to get better. Okay, remember, great things take time to be successful. Okay, do not believe in quick and instant results, because we are so used to this instant world. Because in this instant world, we need everything instant. Okay, this world is built up to give you everything instantly. The outer sources, when you log on to social media, it comes instantly. You can take something instantly. You can know about something instantly. You can download something instantly. But in real life situations, things are not instant. It takes time. Successfulness takes time, right? Happiness, it takes time. Peacefulness takes time. Relationships to build up, it takes time. Nothing is instant in real life. You have to wait. You have to be patient. So in those times, we feel anxious and worried, right? We feel stressed. But remember, when you feel stressed, when you're tired, it is okay to rest. But it is not okay to quit. Because as long as we live, as long as we survive on this earth, as long as we have our lives, we can have a chance to be successful. We can be better at what we are doing. So this is to everyone who is going through tough times in your life. Believe that one day you're going to be happy. One day you're going to be proud about yourself if you focus on yourself and if you work on yourself. So keep in your mind, no matter how tough the situation is, never ever give up. Keep moving forward. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to discuss about how can we clear our mind. Now, so many of you complain when I'm meditating, when I'm studying, there are so many thoughts popping inside our mind. I cannot stop it. I'm worried. What can I do? Well, the reason for this problem is we are looking at the meditation and we are looking at our mind in a wrong way. Always remember, meditation is not about emptying your mind. Okay? You can meditate while having thoughts inside your mind. That is the most wonderful thing about meditation. You don't want to empty your mind. You don't want to close the mind and let not other thoughts come in. No. Okay? Just try this to yourself. If you try to stop thoughts, what will happen? The nature of your mind is it will generate more thoughts again and again. Okay? That is the nature of your mind. Because we don't know that trying to stop thoughts is also a thought. Okay? So remember, meditation is not about stopping thoughts. It is about being aware of your thoughts. There is one practice in Buddha's teachings. It is called Chittanupassana. In Chittanupassana, Buddha introduced us to a wonderful meditation of being aware of what comes into your mind. Okay? Let the thoughts come into your mind, but be aware of it. Because most of the time, we are not aware of what is going inside our mind. That is the problem. That is why we get caught to these unwholesome thoughts like greediness, craving, anger, hatred, and a lot of things. Okay? Because we don't know what is going inside our mind. The Buddha teaches us, that Buddha introduces us this meditation to be aware of what is coming into your mind. Let's say a lustful thought came to your mind. Okay, it's okay. Everyone feels lust. Everyone feels this craving and desire inside their mind. But the problem with most people is they don't know that their mind is under desire, under lust. Okay, but if you can be mindful, okay, if you can detect when the lust arises, this is a lustful thought that is popping inside my mind. If you can detect it, if you can identify it, then the nature of your mind is once you identify your thoughts, once you are aware of that thought, it will start to be silent. Okay? It is something like
a little baby. Look at your mind like a little baby. Okay? Now, when we are not aware of the babies, what they are doing? They're doing a lot of nasty things, okay? They're doing a lot of naughty things. Why? Because we are not aware of them. But once we pay our attention, they try to behave, okay? Because they know that my parent or these elders are being aware of me, okay? So they try to be disciplined. And also, you know, the nature of kids and the nature of little kids is they are very curious. So does the mind. Mind is very curious. It likes to cling into certain things and like to search certain things. So what we can do to quiet our mind or to make silence inside our mind is just to pay attention to what comes into your mind. Don't try to stop it. Okay? The more you try to stop it, the more it will come. So what we have to do, just be aware of it. When you become aware of what is going inside your mind, you bring your mind to this present moment. Because these thoughts and everything that goes inside your mind happening in this present moment. If you can see the appearance of the thoughts, and if you can see the passing away or fading away of the thoughts, it will start to get quieter. Okay? So when your mind is busy, in the next time, try this. When your mind is busy, when a lot of thoughts come into your mind, just try to identify one thought. Look at your mind like you're looking at an external thing, okay? And try to identify one thought. When it arises, you can identify, oh, okay, it is arising now. When it fades away, okay, you're knowing and you are understanding that this thought is fading away. Once you do that, it is very amazing that your mind gets silent and quieter even more. So this is how we can clear and quiet our mind when we do meditations or when we are doing certain things in our life. So keep this advice in your life and practice it. Namo Buddhaya. One of the most frequent questions that I get asked from people is that people say that I fall in love with this person and I get too much attached to him or her, and it hurts both of us, right? It hurts me and to the other person. How can I love someone without getting attached to that person? That is one of the frequent questions that people ask from me. Well, to understand about this, first of all, you need to understand what is the difference between love and attachment. I'll tell you the difference. If you're in love with someone, if you fall in love with someone, this means the pure love, the love, I would say. You say that I need you to be happy. Okay? That's what you say. I need you to be happy. If that happiness includes me, that's much better. If it does not include me, it's okay. Anyway, I need you to be happy in your life. That is love. And in attachment, you say, you need to make me happy. Okay? If they are not able to make you happy, then what do you say? Why aren't you making me happy? Okay? The love you give to me and the things that you do to me is not enough. That's what you say. That is called attachment. Okay? So did you see the difference? That means in love, you think about other people's happiness. Okay? As a result of thinking other people's happiness or wishing other people's happiness, you get the same thing back. Okay? But in an attachment, you wish your own happiness. Only that. You become, it's a form of selfishness. Okay? So this is the difference between love and attachment. So how attachment happens? Here's how it happens. You see this person and you think like, oh, he or she is perfect for me. He's the best thing for me. And I want to be with that person forever. I need to be with him or her forever. I don't want to let that person go off my life. Okay? I don't want let that person to leave my life. I need to be with that person. In that case, you hold on to that person tightly. Okay? You grab that person and you don't want to let go of that person. then what you do in the next step, you try to protect him or her. Okay, sometimes you overprotect him or her. So some people, they put restrictions. Okay, you should not use social media, you should not go and talk with other people, right? You should not come out of house. Remember, the more you try to hold on to someone's life, okay, and the more you try to control someone's life, chances are very, very high for you to lose that person. Because if you dive into the Buddhist teachings, okay, when you dive in deep into Buddha's teachings, Buddha says that you live in your own private world as well as others. Okay, same like you, other people are also living in their private world. You create your own private world. You create your own happiness. You create your own sadness, and everything that you create is created by yourself. Okay, your world is created by yourself. So it goes same with others. Okay, they are living in their private world. Okay, same as you like to be happy and same as you like to be free, those people around you likes to be happy and free. Okay, so what happens when you try to put restrictions on someone? What happens is they don't like it. Okay, no one likes to be totally under control of someone. Okay, they need to have some sort of freedom in their life. So chances are very high for you to lose that person if you try to protect and overprotect and hold on to it and hold on to that person, and you think like, I need to be with that person. And what happens next is you become afraid of losing that person. You think, what if this guy or this person leave me? Okay, what will happen to me? Okay, my whole world will be a disaster. Okay, remember, the reality of life is no one in this world is permanent. Okay, everyone, everything, every experience in this life is subjected to change. That is the reality of life. So that is how attachment happens. But in love, you come to the reality. Okay, when you love someone correctly and purely without too much attachment, you come to this reality, to this real world. You know that these people around me are not going to live forever with me. It's not going to happen. Now, one of the things that Buddha advised us to remember every time, every single day, and every single time it is possible to remember, Buddha said, remember that everyone around you, okay, every person who loves you and who you love is going to leave you. Okay, you have to be separated from these people. I know it is painful. It is difficult to think because we love people, okay, we're afraid of losing them, but one day, in one way or another, okay, and sooner or later, this will happen. At least at the death, it will happen. So we have to leave these people around us. Okay, we are not going to live forever. So when you realize that is the reality. Okay, when you realize that, you come to the reality and think, okay, I have a very, very little time with these people. Actually, the life is short. Okay, if nothing happened to us, we will live only for maybe like 85 years. Who knows? Okay, so life is very short. Then you know that I'm not going to live with this person forever. So what do? You show your love, affection, kindness, and compassion to this person in the best way that you can in this little time, because you know that you have a very little time. Okay, so to love someone, you need to understand the reality of life. What is the reality of life? Everything is subjected to change. Okay, everything is ever changing. That is called anicca in Buddhism. Okay, it is not permanent, it is impermanent. The second thing is that everyone in their own world is suffering. Okay, we suffer in our own private worlds, right? So we have our own private and personal sufferings, same like that others also are suffering in their life. Okay, So if we expect that other people to fulfill all the needs and all the requirements 100% in our life, that's not going to happen. Realize it, okay? Because everyone personally is going through suffering. Understand about this. That is called dukkha. And the third one is that no one in this world is totally under your control. You cannot control people around you totally. Okay, that is called anatta. You're out of control of this world. Okay, the problem is we worry about the people that we cannot control. Okay, can you control people's behavior? No, you cannot do that. Can you control how people behave and how people treat you, how people talk to you, how people think about you? No, that is their own business. Okay, so what you can control is how you live in your life, the way you live in your personal life. That is totally under your control. So understand these three things. What is that? Everything is subjected to change. Everyone is suffering in their own worlds, and not everyone in this world is totally under your control. This is called the truth in this life. This is called the reality in this life. Once you understand this, you know and you will learn how to be compassionate on people. Okay? How to love people. And then you can wish, no matter what happens to you, if you stay with me or if you did not stay with me, it's okay. I wish the good of you. I wish the happiness of you. Okay? Then that love will never hurt you. Okay? But attachment, when you get too much attached to people, it will definitely hurt you. So wish the good for everyone, wish the happiness on everyone, and then you will find the peaceness that you're seeking for in your life. Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever wondered why some people are so good and so clever in what they're doing? Maybe there are some people who are studying with you, maybe some people who are in your workspace. There are some people who are very clever and very capable of doing in their profession. Okay, they are very successful in it. What is the reason behind this? What is the reason behind this success? Well, if we can define success in one word, the only word that we can find is consistency. This quality is very important for all of our lives. Not only in your day-to-day life, not only in your career, but also in your spiritual path. Okay? If someone is practicing spiritual path, consistency is the key for success. Okay? Now, what do you mean by consistency? Consistency means doing something every single day or without stopping for a long period of time until you get better at it. Now, if we look at our life, there are some bad habits we all have in our life. Okay? Why we are so good at these bad things? The reason behind why we are so good at bad things is we have done it for a long period of time every single day without stopping. That is the nature of our mind, and that is the nature of our life. Whether it is good or bad, if we are doing it consistently, or if we are doing it over and over for a long period of time, we get so good at it. That is why we are so good at distractions. That is why we are so good at anger, jealousy, and all these evil thoughts in our mind, because we have practiced it over a long period of time. Now, Buddha said, if you need to cultivate wholesome thoughts, and if you need to be successful in your spiritual life, what are you going to do? You have to cultivate and you have to practice these wholesome thoughts or wholesome activities for a long period of time without stopping. Okay, every single day. Okay, let's keep the spiritual life for a part. Let's take the studying and education. Now, if you're someone who is studying and if you're someone who is focused on education, what do you have to do? You have to keep studying. Okay, sometimes you find very difficult and very challenging to keep studying. Why? Because our mind get distracted. Okay, sometimes we lose our focus. Now, in that time, so many of people, they complain that I cannot study. Okay, I'm distracting always. What is the reason? Why? What is the problem with me? Well, the only problem behind the failure or this unsuccessfulness is lack of consistency. Sometimes we try to study and then we feel tired and we feel less focused, and then we give up. Okay, and then after maybe like 2-3 days, again we try to study, and then again the same thing happen, and then we give up. Okay, in that way you're not going to be successful. Okay, if you want to be successful and in any field of your life, maybe studying, maybe in your meditations, maybe in your spiritual life, maybe in kindness, maybe cultivating compassion in your life, what do you have to do? You have to be consistent. That is the only way to be successful in anything. I can still remember when we came to become monks. Okay, on the first day, our monks gave this first advice to us. That is, they said that it takes several minutes to become a monk physically. Okay, it takes a few minutes to make your body a monk, but it takes years and years, maybe lifetime, to be a monk from your mind. You will fail, you will be unsuccessful in some parts in your life, but you have to keep going. Do not ever quit. That is the first advice that we were given. So, to be good at anything, to be successful, to be happy, to be successful in your spiritual life, to practice meditations, to be good at that, what are you going to do? Keep doing it every single day. That is the thing. But there's a problem. The real problem or the real enemy for the consistency is the higher expectations. We set a lot of high expectations in our life, and when we are not able to get it, we give up. That is the only thing. Now, so many people come to me and complain that I cannot meditate for 1 hour. What is the problem with me? I cannot focus for 1 hour. Well, in the beginning, no one can do that. Okay, there may be some few lucky people in this world. Okay, they can concentrate instantly. But if you want to be good at in your meditations, in your focusing and your concentration power, what do you want to do? Keep doing it. Okay, do not set high expectations. Right? Aim for the little achievements. Maybe like you can focus and you can think like before you are starting meditation, you can think, well, if my mind became concentrated or well focused only for 1 minute, that's okay. I'm happy with that 1 minute. Okay, when you focus on that, you can easily achieve it. You can do that. When you achieve it, you feel a sense of happiness in your life. You feel like you achieved that target. So in the next day, when you meditate, maybe you can focus your mind, or you can concentrate your mind for 2 minutes. Okay? So if you keep on focusing on little achievements and without having high expectations in your life in the first time, then you will be good at maintaining your consistency. Because sometimes when we don't see results, okay, when we don't get results quickly as we want, we just give up. That is the biggest problem in our minds. Okay, to be successful, you need to spend a period of time that you are not seeing the results. Okay, one day I was climbing, and in Sri Lanka we have a nice mountain where we climb to see the Buddha's footprint. Okay, that is called Adam's Peak, or the Sri Pada in Sri Lanka. So once we were climbing, we could not see the mountain top. We don't know where we are going. Okay, so one monk said to me, it doesn't matter, you cannot see where you are going, but if you're clear in your next step, take that step. Okay, and if you're in the correct path, no matter how fast or slow you go, you will go to your destination that you want to go. So always remember that it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you are moving towards success. The most important thing is that whether you're going to do it every single day in the correct way or not. So remember, consistency is the key for success for anything. So keep doing what you're doing, right? Keep doing the good works that you're doing, even if you don't see the results in your life. Keep doing it, and one day I'm very sure, I'm very sure that you will achieve your goals definitely. So keep that in your mind. May you be happy and well. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. Today, let's talk about how to have a better sleep and a healthy sleep. Now, sleep is something that we all struggled, and we all have struggled in all of our lives, right? And there are many people in this world who struggle with sleeping. They go to bed and they don't find sleep. Sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night for no reason, okay? Sometimes when they wake up in the morning, they feel miserable and tired even more, okay? So there are a lot of problems with sleep. So in this video, I am going to share with you 3 tips that we monks practice in order to have a better sleep, right? This is in our daily routine. So without any further ado, let's dive into the video. Tip number 1. The first thing that you have to do is to wind down for your bed, okay? That means sleep is something that we have to approach gradually and peacefully. It's like you're getting ready for an occasion, right? Now, for an occasion, maybe an interview or a meeting, what do? You get ready, right? You get your clothes done, you get your documents done, and you get ready for it. Same like that, sleep is an important occasion in our day. So what we have to do, we have to get ready for it. Okay? So how can we get ready? So here are a few things that you can practice to wind down for your bed. The first thing that you have to do is to have a light meal for your dinner. Now for the monks, this is not a problem because we don't have our dinner. We only have 2 meals per day, right? Some monks have 1 meal per day. Normally we have 2 meals per day, that is breakfast and lunch. We don't have the dinner, okay? So have a light meal for your dinner and eat at least 4 to 3 hours before the bed, before your sleep time. Now when you do this, your digestion is over and it is finished and it is at rest. Now you can go to the bed peacefully and drink enough water before you go to bed, okay? And also, this is something that many people do, right? Do not bring your mobile phone or laptop or any device that you're using to the bed, right? There are many people who use, right? There are thousands of people who use their mobile phone on their bed before sleep, okay? Sometimes you scroll and scroll and scroll, and so finally you find that it is 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the night, in the morning. Don't do that. So what do you have to do? Avoid as much as possible this screen time, blue light screen and everything, avoid them, okay? Because these screens and these lights stimulates our brain, okay? If you can be relaxed and listen to a meditation music or a calming music, then that's better, okay? So you have to wind down before sleep. And another thing that you can do is to have a shower, right? If it is a cold shower, then it is much better. Or if you cannot have a cold shower, then have a lukewarm water shower, okay? Cleaning your body will help you to wind down and make your body feel relaxed, okay? Then even your mind feel peaceful, okay? So this is how we wind down for our bed. Tip number 2 is to practice the gratitude, right? Now we monks, when we go to the bed, right, we just sit on the bed and we close our eyes and think the people, and we recall all the people who have helped in our life, right? They may be your parents, they may be your relatives, your husband, your wife, your children, or there are certain things that we feel grateful for. So what do you have to do? Be grateful for them, right? Simply say thank you for all of them, right? remember and recall all the people who have helped you in your way, in your life journey, and be thankful for them in your mind. That is something that we can do, because gratitude is a powerful emotion. If you generate it, you feel the happiness within your mind, and it will help you to have a peaceful sleep. So tip number 2 is to practice gratitude. And finally, as tip number 3, what you have to do is to recall a good deed that you have done earlier. This is something that I personally do before every day, before I'm going to bed. I recall all the good deeds that I have done during the day, good things that I have done during the day, and also I recall the good things that I have done in the past. Okay, so it is always good to keep one good deed or few good deeds in your mind that you have done in the past to make you feel happy. When you recall them, you can feel happy about them. I personally have 2 good deeds in my life. Among every other good deed, these 2 good deeds help me a lot to feel much more happy. They may be not big things, but you feel so much happy when you think that you have done it. Okay? It can be a little act of kindness, right? It can be giving some little food to an animal or a person that makes you feel happy. Before every time you go to bed, what you have to do is to recall all the good deeds, good things that you have done in the past. Now, when you do this, you will feel a very positive self-esteem in your mind, right? You feel that your life is worthy and you have done good deeds, right? You're a good person, because there are many people, they go to bed regretting about their life. Okay, remember, no matter how hard or tough your life becomes, there is always positive things in your life. There are always good things that you have done in your life. The only thing that we have to do is to recall them, right? The more we remember the good things that we have done, the more we become happy. That is one result of doing good things. So these are the few things that we can do to practice to have a better and a healthy sleep. So as a summary, what you have to do is, first thing, wind down, relax your mind before you go to bed. Number 2, practice gratitude. And finally, number 3, recall the good things that you have done in your day and in your life. If you do these things and if you practice these things, I can assure that you will have a peaceful and a healthy and a better sleep. So practice these things and have a peaceful night. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to today's video. Today, this special video is entirely dedicated to those who are studying. Now, one of the most frequent questions that I get asked in the comment section is, Bhante, I'm studying and my mind is distracting all the time, and how to focus on studying? Well, today, let's discuss about this distracting mind. Okay, and also I'm going to share with you a few tips where you can practice while you're studying to help to focus your mind on studying. So without any further ado, let's get into these tips. Now, while you're studying, have you ever found yourself daydreaming? Right? Sometimes we sit down to study and we just turn our book on and we start to study, and after a few minutes, what happens to us? We just get distracted, right? We just start daydreaming. Trust me, when I was studying, when I was at home, right before I became a monk, when I was studying, I used to daydream a lot. Okay, I used to get distracted a lot. So it is very difficult. I know it is very difficult, and it's very hard to focus our mind to studies, because we live in a world where there are many distractions. So what we can do about this distracting mind, and how can we focus on our mind on our studies? Well, there are certain things that you can do. And one of them is, the first thing that I want to share with you today is that I would like you to write down what you become distracted. Okay? This is something that you get heard rarely. Okay? So let's say like this, you're studying, okay, and you turn over the book and you started studying, and sometimes the same thing happened. What is that? Daydreaming. Okay, it's okay, let it happen. Okay, once you know, and once you identify that you are daydreaming, and once you found yourself that you are daydreaming, what do you have to do? I want you to take a pen or a pencil and take a blank paper and write down that thought that you became distracted. For an example, while you're studying, sometimes we used to think about foods a lot. Okay, so what do you have to do? Write it down. I got distracted about thinking about biryani. Okay, something like that. Or sometimes we become distracted thinking about the past experiences, the things that happened in the past. Okay, so what do you have to do? Write it down, jot it down on a paper. Now, why should we do this? Because most of the time, we are not aware of what we are thinking. When we become distracted and when we daydream, we don't know what is going in our mind. We don't know what we are thinking. We just jump into that stream of thoughts and we just flow down. So what do you have to do? When you write that thought in a piece of paper, right? It's like you're identifying that thought, right? You code that thought and you identified, okay, this is what makes me distracted. This is what makes me unfocused on studies. Okay, then there's a physical thing that you can see, and you can see that it is physically that you are distracting. Okay, so what do you have to do? Write down your distracting thoughts. Okay, then you have a good understanding. When you do this for a little while, what can you do is, and what can you find is, there's a pattern of distractions. That means we become distracted for few thoughts, and they are the thoughts that come again and again to our mind. So what do you have to do? Write it down. That is the first tip. Second tip, identify what makes you distracted and then be brave enough to remove all those distractions. There are triggers that makes us distracted. Let's say, for an example, our mobile phone. Okay, let's say you're studying and there's the mobile phone on the desk. Each and every time it rings a notification, what do? We take our mobile phone and we check what it is. Okay, so a mobile phone is not distracting you. It is a trigger for your distraction. Trigger is just a trigger until you give the power to that to make you distracted. So what do you have to do? Physically, by force, sometimes it's very difficult, okay? You have to be brave enough to do that. Remove that distraction. If your mobile phone is distracting you, be brave enough to remove it, okay? If your laptop or your any technical device that is distracting you, be brave enough to remove it. And sometimes, right, sometimes we have to use this technology. Okay, sometimes you have to use your laptop to study. So what do you have to do? While you're doing it, be much more disciplined and much more aware of what you're thinking and what you're doing inside it. Okay, use it only for what you want. Okay, while studying. I'm not saying that other times you can use it whatever in whatever way you want, but use it only for what you want while studying. So the second tip is to be brave enough to remove the distractions. Okay, if something is distracting you, you have to remove it. Tip number 3, do not study for long hours continuously. I can still remember when I was studying and when I was at home, I can still remember I used to make these schedules and timetables to study for 2 or 3 hours continuously. You know, it is not productive. So what you can do? You can study for short time intervals. Maybe like, let's say 25 minutes. Okay, you can use 25 minutes to study, okay, and then take a little bit of a break and then again study. And while you're studying, what you have to do, you have to jot down and you have to write down all those distracting thoughts. Okay, keep that in your mind. So do not study for long hours. Just take a break and refresh yourself and then come back again to studies. That is another thing that you can do. And here comes the final tip, the tip number 4. It is the most important thing and the most awesome thing is to practice a little bit of meditation before every study session. Okay? Before every study session, let's say you studied for 25 minutes and you took an interval, then you came back to study. Now, while you are taking that break, sometimes you do certain things to make your mind busy even more. So what we have to do? We have to just settle down and make our mind to focus. To do that, we can use a little bit of meditation before every study session. Just sit down on your chair and just close your eyes. And the easiest thing that you can do is to watch this flow of breath, in breath and out breath. When you practice this calming meditations like breathing meditation, that is one of the easiest meditations that you can do. When you focus your mind on this in breath and out breath, it helps you to become calm and settle down. Then your mind will get ready to study. Okay, so these are the few things and few easy things that you can do and practice while studying. Okay, so use these things and use these tips to study and make your studies a more productive one. Namo Buddhaya. Still, I can remember this incident. When I was little, when I was at school, one of my teachers came to our noisy classroom and she asked from us, "Do you know why you have given 2 ears and 1 mouth?" Then she said, "The reason why we have given 2 ears and 1 mouth is to talk less and to listen more." Ladies and gentlemen, when we deal with people in our relationship life, in your family life, in your workspace, if you have this quality of active listening, that can help you in many ways. This quality can help you in many ways. Okay? Now, so many people come to our temple and they talk with the monks with their problems and about their family problems, the problems in the workspace. And there's one thing that they all say, and that is, they say, they are not listening to me. They are not willing to pay attention to me. They cannot understand me. That is one thing that they say. So if you have the art of active listening, if you practice the art of active listening, you will be liked by many people, right? People always like to talk with someone who is paying more attention to them, right? If you consider about the Buddha was a great listener. At one time, one man comes up to the Buddha and he starts insulting him, right? He starts blaming him. All through that incident, the only thing that Buddha did was he listened to that person, right? He paid a good attention to that person. And in another time, one lady comes with her son died on her hand, and she was wailing and she was lamenting in front of the Buddha. And the only thing that the Buddha did was, he paid attention to that lady's suffering, right? He listened to that lady's suffering. So if you can practice this art of active listening, if you can listen more and talk less, people will start to like you. Remember that. For an example, if you come up to me, right? If you wanted to talk about a problem that you are having in your life, and from the beginning of the conversation, if I started to give you instructions and give you the advice and my opinions about that problem, what would you feel? You will start to think like, this monk cannot understand me. He's not willing to pay attention to me. He's not willing to listen to me. So practice this art of active listening. So how can we practice the listening? Well, the Buddha said that all the words that we speak from our mouth is pre-processed in our mind. That means we think first all these words and then we put it into our mouth and we speak. So if we can be mindful about what we think what is going on in our mind, then it is very easy to control what you speak. And then it is very easy to know when to speak and when not to speak. So this practice is called, being mindful about the thoughts is called Chittanupassana in Buddhism, right? For that, the only thing that we have to do is like just sit in a quiet place and just watch our thoughts, what comes to our mind. We don't want to react with that thought. We don't want to chase behind that thought. Just identify the thought as just a thought. That is one practice that you can practice to be a good listener. And also, there's another way to practice this listening ability is to engage in conversations and try to listen more to that person. So in the next conversation that you're having, try this out. Go to someone, and if they wanted to talk with you, just from the beginning of the conversation, tell it to yourself that I'm going to listen to this person more. I'm going to pay attention to this person more. That is one way of paying and showing your love and affection to the person that is in front of you, right? That is why lending a good ear and listening to someone and sharing their suffering or problems with them is one way of showing your compassion and love towards them. Okay, so in the next conversation, when you go through that, just listen more to them. Let them put out what is in their mind. And when they go silent, and then you have to ask some more questions. Tell me, how did you do that, right? How it happened, right? Tell me more about the details that happened. Then they will be more interested in talking with you, and they will start to like you and love you. When you practice this, then you will get used to this active listening, okay? And also remember, do not listen to someone just to reply to them or just to give your opinion to them. Always listen to people to understand about their situation, to understand who the person behind these words, and to understand the intention behind these words. When you do that, then you will become an active and a good listener, and then you will be liked by many people. So that is all about the active listening. Be mindful about your thoughts and listen more than you talk. Keep that in your mind. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. You know what? Today we are going to have a storm to our monastery, right? It's a big storm incoming. And the sky is getting gloomy and gloomy little by little. But you know what? A few hours ago, the whole monastery was shining and it was bathed with sunlight, right? So the weather changes so rapidly, the nature changes so rapidly. So as our life. In life, some days we have storms, right? Sometimes we are very happy. Sometimes we celebrate our life like shiny days, right? Like sunny days. But sometimes it becomes gloomy. All of a sudden it becomes gloomy. It becomes so moody, right? So we feel down, we feel terrible, like we feel depressed, right? And for some days, there's nothing special, like the empty sky, right? So this is life. It always changes, okay? So today, I'm going to talk about this one habit that we all have been through and that can affect us in many ways in our life, and that is the habit of overthinking, right? You know, we all have been through that situation that we have overanalyzed situations, and we have expected worst case scenarios, and we have kept on thinking about certain things, what will happen in the future, what has happened in the past. That is very painful, and it steals our peacefulness in our life. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you few tips that can manage the habit of overthinking and to stop the habit of overthinking. So let's dive into the video. So the first thing that we have to know before doing any kind of thing is to identify what triggers you, what makes you overthink, right? Because without identifying and without knowing what makes you overthink, you cannot deal with it. You cannot manage it, right? So for people, it may be different ways of triggers. Sometimes people have some fears about talking with other people, right? People have fears about like traveling alone, right? Sometimes people have a fear about what other people think of me. Okay, so it is different from one person to another. So the first thing is to identify what makes you overthink, what triggers you. Once you know it, write it down on a paper. Okay, this is what makes me overthink. This is what making me troubles. Okay, that is the first step, identifying what triggers you to overthink. And then the next step, the second step, is to be mindful about that trigger and that emotion. Okay, because once you identify your trigger, right, what makes you overthink, you can be mindful about it. You can identify it. Once those thoughts comes to your mind, like maybe a fear, maybe like a worry, maybe like a sadness, when it comes to your mind, just if you practice this mindfulness, you can catch that thought. You can identify that thought. Now I'm going to worry. Now I'm worrying, right? Now I have this fear in my mind. Because when you become mindful, you understand about it and you know about it, you become aware of it. Then you will have the power to control it, right? Always remember, you cannot control anything that you don't know about and you're not aware about, right? So the second thing is to be aware and to be mindful about your thought. This is one thing that stuck in my mind for a long time, that a thought is just a thought until we give the power to control it ourselves. Okay, so what we have to know, understand the thought as just a thought, right? Don't give the power to control it, right? Don't judge the thought. Don't try to stop the thought, right? Just identify it as just a simple thought, as any other thought. Okay, that is the second step. And the third step, you can challenge yourself. You can challenge your mind. Ask from your mind. Whenever you catch yourself overthinking, ask from your mind, is this real? Am I worrying about a real thing or a realistic thing? Is that going to happen in reality? So when you think about that, you will come across these conclusions. No, it's not going to happen. Why am I worrying about it? Right? Why am I thinking about it? I don't want to do that, right? It will steal my peacefulness. Okay, so when you think like that, you know what is going inside your mind. So the whole point and the whole secret about stopping this overthinking pattern is to know what is going inside your mind. Okay, that is one thing that you can do to challenge your thoughts. And then the next step is to take action. There is no any other remedy for all these problems, all these mental restrictions that you have in your mind other than taking actions. Okay, I don't suggest you to take big actions. What you have to do is to take small step, to do little things that you feel like a fear and a worry about things. Okay, just go for it and take action. If you have a fear of talking with a person, just for a little time go and talk with him. Plan it and go and talk with him. If you have a fear of traveling alone, just try it a little bit. Okay, it will make you more confident about it. So the fourth step is to take action. Okay, and then the final step, if you feel like your overthinking pattern, your habit is troubling you and it is restricting you and it is holding you back from doing great things and becoming great, then you have to seek for help. right? Remember, you don't have to travel this journey alone. You have to seek for the help from trusted people. Maybe your trusted friend, it may be one of your family friends, maybe one of your relations, maybe your parents, maybe a counselor. Seek for help, right? Don't be shy and don't be afraid to ask for help and to reveal what is going inside your mind. When you reveal yourself and when you seek for the help, always there are people who can help you. Okay, so you are not alone in this world. Even 73%, you know that 73% of the young people in the age range of 25 to 35 suffer from chronic overthinking. So you are not alone in this world. Okay, so what we have to do is the first thing to identify what triggers you, second thing to be mindful, and then to challenge your thoughts and take action. And if all those things does not work, seek for the help, and always the help will be given to you. So these are the few things and the little things that you can practice in your life to overcome the pattern and the habit of overthinking. So I wish all the best in your journey of overcoming the overthinking patterns and living a life more productive and more happy. Namo Buddhaya.